bring back Pastor Cal. I don't care what you got to pay him. Please bring back Dr. Pepper. You know what I'm saying? Because what was the reason? Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking Married at First Sight, Season 20, Episode 1, you guys. And I believe this is the second season that Married at First Sight is going to be on Peacock. And I've been off and on the Married at First Sight bandwagon, train, all the things. I didn't typically review it. However, a lot of you guys requested it and everything else. And the reason why I would not review it, or I would be in and out different seasons, is because I feel like at times it has lost its authenticity, right? And ultimately, people are there for the check. People are there for the exposure. People are there for the fame and all of the things. And less of them are about love. But then my other frustration, even though I prefer to have Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper back, I feel like we're not properly matchmaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember seasons back, and this is old school, where there was somebody who vehemently did not want somebody who smoked. And she ended up married to somebody who was a smoker. And I believe that season was the last time you were allowed to quit the show on the honeymoon, or whatever the case may be, that you pretty much have to stay locked in with somebody new. Really up until decision day. And I believe the reason of her quitting the show then is why they have that clause, and they charge you whatever they allegedly pay you, right? Because I think the last time I knew, it was like 50, 60K. I don't know if that's still what the price is, or if the price has changed since it's on the Peacock for, you know, the duration of the experiment. But ultimately, there was all types of stuff that was happening back in the day. Like, it was lit. So I say all that to say that I was coming into this season with the new matchmakers, the new quote-unquote experts, that we're really going to try, right? That we're really going to try and attempt to, you know, give us some quality matches. And I am just confused. There's a lot of things that are different. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to see 3 weddings. However, before, in the earlier seasons, there would be like a summary, like, hey, your groom wants you to know that he likes this, that he's into, you know, traveling a lot, he's into movies, he's into this. Hey, you know, your wife wants you to know that she's a girl's girl, or she likes to do this. Now it just seems like people are just winging whatever at the altar, like nobody's even writing a vow. No. Like, I feel like we're just kind of, it's a free-for-all. And one of the biggest issues that I had with the episode that I was kind of appalled at, I was kind of floored at, was with the match of, you know what I'm saying, who are these people's names? And bear with me, it's the first episode, right? It is the first episode. However, Marissa and Adam, you guys. We'll just start with them, right? Because I do not think that this couple is going to last in any capacity, right? So Adam had a big package in terms of him being successful, him living on a boat, him, you know, making all this money financially. But apparently during this entire interview process for Married at First Sight, he had at least one entanglement. He had at least one situationship that was going to his house. He was making her dinner, all of this and all of that. And although it didn't sound like they haven't done anything too recently, but within the last month or so, or a couple of months or whatever else, but I feel like they might be lying. You know what I'm saying? It might have been last night. They might be lying for TV. Now you want to tell him on camera hey, it's a good time for you to break up with your situationship. And my thing is, if we're in the casting process and you know that you've already matched them, you know what I'm saying? Why wasn't all of this cut off prior to? Because it felt performative to me. It felt like potentially if Adam does not like his match, he's going to hit this girl up anyways. You know what I mean? So ultimately what happens is on camera, he calls her and he's like, yeah, I think we should end things. And she's like, what? And he's like, yeah, I got accepted for Married at First Sight. Meanwhile, on these reality shows, it takes weeks, months, all the things. And normally on other reality shows, on these dating shows, you're on what's called like a sequester. If you're going out, because a lot of these dating shows, you'll film out somewhere else, like The Bachelor, Bachelorette, like Love Island. You might be sequestered in a hotel for like at least a month, at least 4 to 6 weeks, because they want to do like all of the testing, make sure there's no STDs. They want to do personality tests. They want to do commercials, photo shoots, interviews, all of the shots for the show. So it's very odd, you know what I'm saying? Like on shows like that, it's very rare for somebody still to be entertaining somebody before, you know what I'm saying? Once they're gone for the show. Now, it has happened where people kind of just let them know or didn't tell them, hey, I'm going to be on reality TV. And then next thing you know, they see them on the show. But for the most part, that, you know what I'm saying, they wrap up whatever it is to be wrapped up with whatever. And then once they are confirmed to be going on a reality show, that's it. So I found it odd, pretty much to the last second, that Adam was able to get away with still having this entanglement, at least the one that we know of, and break up with her on camera. That to me was sus. That to me was very sus, and the experts all like, oh, it's about taking accountability. The accountability would have been to shut all of that down before, you know what I'm saying? Once you got confirmed that you were a finalist, that you were going to be on the show, that they were going to be filming you, that you know what I'm saying, that pretty much the next step is just matching you with the right woman, but pretty much you were a shoo-in for the show. At that point, really in the interview process, once you got confirmed with casting, really that should have been the end of it. But it felt like you still wanted to have these entanglements around until the show starts filming. That's what it sounds like to me. Until the cameras were on, you still wanted to have this entanglement around, which I feel like this entanglement's not going to go away. She said all the things, like you know what I'm saying, oh, this is your loss, and sounded upset, but ultimately, watch this space. Watch this space. And there seems to be some family issues in terms of not all of his family were able to attend because his parents were not canceling an international trip, I believe to Iceland or somewhere. And then his grandmother was not going to attend. And then also on the bride's side, it sounded like, some of her family was not going to be there and all the things. And, it's wild, right? It's wild because it's like, not everybody's really on board with these reality shows or, being set up like this for these marriages. But ultimately, it feels like these men that have been casted thus far, from just what I'm seeing, it's pretty much their way or the highway. It is my takeaway, right? So there was a bachelor and bachelorette party. Things are so different now because I feel like in the earlier seasons, there was a lot more time spent on the matchmaking process. There was a lot more time spent of the brides getting to know each other, the grooms getting to know each other. I feel like now we've just like fast-tracked to like a makeshift bachelor party, a makeshift bachelorette party, and, and bam, we're at the weddings. And then they try to show us what their matchmaking process was, but really the math is not mathing, right? So what happened was Marissa and Adam, they exchanged gifts, to give each other prior to meeting each other. So Adam basically gave Marissa all the stuff to let her know, hey, this is my life, to let her know that, hey, we're going to be on the boat a lot, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be outdoors, you know what I'm saying? And all the things. She gives him a alcohol, y'all. And apparently this man is not a drinker. Apparently this man does not believe in putting alcohol in his system, and that is why I referenced the couple many seasons ago where the gentleman was a smoker, and that was a deal breaker for the wife. She did not like that at all. Did not like the smell of cigarette smoke or any of the things. And this is where I feel like, I don't know if it's production and I don't know if it's the experts that play in these people's faces with some of these deal breakers. Fast forward to the wedding, y'all. And this is the last wedding that they show. They leave the wedding on a cliffhanger because what has happened is ultimately dude's already pissed off because he received alcohol as his gift, which indicates to him that his future bride is a drinker, which he does not like to drink. If he wants to be fresh, clean living and living on a boat and all this and all that, he's not trying to feature anything involving alcohol. So once he turns around and sees her, and they're like, oh wow, we know each other. No. What do you mean you know each other? And this is my question. How extensive is the background check? How extensive are you guys combing through these candidates' social media, their exes, their ex-friend, or their current or ex-friends, ex-entanglements, or any of the sort, that these two know each other? So this is just episode 1. I don't know what the capacity is, if they have mutual friends, if they ever been entangled before, or they may not like each other at all, or they know each other very well and just chose to never be romantically involved. But I think this is already going to be a disaster. This is already going to be a hot mess express, if you ask me, right? And then another big issue is Felipe, right? Felipe, who is a Brazilian gentleman, apparently, you know what I'm saying, had some issues with his weight and everything else, lost the weight, and says all the women are hitting on him. At the bachelor party, was the only one to basically admit that he has cheated before, and he forgot that he cheated, and he remembered it like 2 years later or something along the sort. And then through this process of meeting with the experts, he was either a no-show or late to all of the appointments, missed a Zoom call, you know what I'm saying? And also every single session would show up late, and he's like, well, with my job, this and that, my day doesn't start till 4 p.m. I'm a professional. I used to work at Microsoft 6-7 years, this and that. But ultimately, you know what I'm saying? I might be up all hours of the night, and I do take this seriously, and it's giving that you don't. It is given that you don't, and then you are hyping up, all of the negative stereotypes about Brazilians, that they're all just lustful, only interested in sex. And then there was a weird conversation about how often Felipe showers, and how, it's important that, they always have to be ready. They have to be on standby if there's beautiful women around. And I'm just like, this is so icky. Like, why are we having these conversations? You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like Pastor Cal would never. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just very bizarre. So Felipe and his bride meet each other, and I couldn't get the vibes at first. I couldn't tell. He seemed really into her, but I couldn't tell on her side if she was really into him yet. And again, another freestyle of the vows, right? Where they're just kind of gonna, say whatever. And I wasn't taking any of it seriously, because again, they should have just went with the old school way, which is whoever is the officiant is just gonna read off, hey, you know what I'm saying? This person is Brazilian, they have a night job, this and that. Like telling you actual qualities about the person as you are marrying a stranger. And I feel like now people are just winging it, right? So after they say I do and they kiss and all the things, it sounds like they actually do like each other. It sounds like they actually are interested in each other and are attracted to each other and think each other is hot, you guys. Supposedly, allegedly, that is the case, right? And so now I want to get to the black love of it all, right? I want to get to the black love of it all, which is the final couple that was featured on the initial episode for episode 1, you guys. So we got Belle and Mecca, and this was probably the only couple that it seemed like there might have been an attempt to actually match people together that had some similarities. Like, it seemed like, you know, on Belle's side that she has multiple things going on, that she's a singer, she's a teacher, she does all of these different things. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like Mecca, he's a part of a family-owned sanitation business, but it sounds like he does some other stuff on the side as well. They're both tall, both good looking, seem like they come from good families and all of the things, right? Until we get to the wedding, you guys. Until we get to the wedding. And this is going to be an interesting one to watch, because either this is going to work out or this is going to absolutely fail and be a dumpster fire. So they made it a point that Bella Jewel was making it, you know, letting it known in the limo on the way to the wedding that she's not going to be kissing anybody on the lips, because she ultimately wants to, you know, feel this out, right? But on the flip side, you've got Mecca's daddy, you know what I'm saying? Just letting it be known that a kiss on the cheek makes them weak. A kiss on the tongue is going to get them sprung. Stop it! Who is Mecca's daddy? You know what I'm saying? And why does he want to be famous so bad? Why does he want to be famous so bad? That Mecca's dad was like, listen, look here, this is my time to shine. And I'm like, who is the groom? Is Mecca the groom or you, sir? You know what I'm saying? Listen, I love a family that cracks jokes and, you know, has a good time and all this and all of that. But it gets to a point. It gets to a point. But this is what happens sometimes when people know that it's lights, camera, action. It's TV time. It's time for you to be the star. No. I cannot. So Bella Jewel and her siblings, they're making jokes. You know, what if the man's ugly? What if he's, you know, this? And she said, listen, I don't care if this man is ugly. You know what I'm saying? This is who the experts have matched me with. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So they meet each other, right? And again, initially, I couldn't tell the vibes because you got y'all families giving side commentary. You know what I'm saying? Which happens, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? It happens in our families, right? It happens where we give commentary, we crack jokes, and this and that. However, there's a time and a place, y'all. There's a time and a place. But it felt like y'all was trying to hype each other up, and I understand, I get it, because ultimately they are marrying a stranger. But I'm here to tell you, I didn't get anything out of this. I did not get anything out of this, out of any substance. And I feel like with Lifetime, at least, even though Lifetime got on my nerves, you know what I'm saying? But there was a reason, there was a method to their madness and a method to their strategy and their approach to this show that I feel like we've taken out some of the fundamental pieces of this show. And now that's on Peacock, we're just focusing on the straight TRASH. You know what I'm saying? We're just focusing straight on the drama. And I don't know if I really like that, right? Anyways, we got Mecca. He's got a couple grills in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Grills in his teeth or whatever the case may be. And we got Bella Jewel, and it seems like she's into him. I can't tell. He might be into her. I can't tell. He was so excited about his braids being redone, and there's like a little heart shape on one of the sides of it or whatever the case may be. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know. Like I said, this is going to go either really well or really bad. So ultimately, we get through the vows and it's time to kiss, right? It's time to kiss. And, like I said, I think Mecca was expecting, to kiss his wife, to kiss his bride. And Bellatrix, she moved to the side for the cheek and then moved to the side for the other cheek. And he's like, oh, okay, cheeks. And so then afterwards, they have this conversation about, like, what are you expecting? What were you into? And she just keeps giggling. And on Mecca's side, I don't think he knows if she likes him or not. Because he was even saying in his little makeshift vows that he wants things reciprocated to him. That he wants, somebody to do stuff for him if he does something for them, right? He wants it in return. And I don't know how this is going to go. And then when they all sync up for pictures, it's kind of like awkward. I'm like, are y'all cool? Because even the dad's cracking jokes like, oh, so I see y'all wanted to do the kiss behind the scenes. But I don't think there was any kissing behind the scenes. It quickly went to nighttime. And I feel like we don't have context if this is going well or not. If this is going to be an actual match. Or if this is going to be a hot mess express. But judging by the beginning 2-minute preview, where we're having all these couple sessions, like all the couples together, and it sounds like it's going to be lit. Some couples are not really attracted to each other or interested, and then it seems like they go off on the experts. At least that's my takeaway. And it seems like at least one of the experts is crying. And I just feel like even when this show was at its peak of toxicity, I still felt like there was a level of care that Pastor Cal had with this show. And I feel like all of that's out the window. I feel like the more trashier, the better. The more dysfunctional, the better. The more out of control, the better. The more outrageous these matches are, the better. Because we deliberately want to have you marry a stranger that is all of your deal breakers, because that is going to give us the maximum drama for TV. That's what I feel like I am setting myself up for this season. I don't know about y'all. I feel like we're about to be in for one HELL of a ride, and I don't know if I was ready. I don't know if I was ready for this level of, we're just going to take out all of the basic things that made this show fun on Lifetime and just cut it up and throw it away and then present it on Peacock with these new experts. And I'm thinking to myself, where's Pastor Cal? Bring back Pastor Cal. I will lead the charge. I will lead the campaign to bring back Pastor Cal, because I do not see this season ending well at all. I see these contestants getting after it and getting after these experts. Because they're going to come back at them and be like, how dare you? How dare you do this to me and set me up for the okie doke? And I have to stay locked in with this fool until decision day. Absolutely not. So, with that being said, I need y'all to do me the biggest favor, and that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. There's that. That is it. That is all. It's todos es fidel. It's finito. It's the in the road. See in line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post some content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.